What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles, welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Movie Files. Joining me, as always, is little brother Jayce. Bro Shot, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. And Chief, how you doing?
Everything's good. Everything's good. How you?
Outstanding. Jay King, what's up?
I'm doing better, Jeff. Getting over a cold. I'm in a relaxation room and I'm relaxing on Wednesday night with the Loud Movie Files podcast.
How? Yeah, I'm in that same state. You know how funny it is? No one ever gets colds anymore because, oh, it can't be COVID. I
No,
just have a cold. And like,
not
you
at
know what?
all.
This pandemic is not over, but whatever. I'm just saying, I started working at a new job and surprisingly, I got a cold. Anyway, let's talk because last week, Jayce and I were discussing a couple shows, Walking Dead, Andor, and we were saying this is a magnificent moment right here. We're about to approach the series finale this Sunday of The Walking Dead. Before we go on to 72 spinoffs of The Walking Dead characters that you care about, I am conflicted. And I think the main reason is because, I have had Angela Kang's back throughout this thing. And for no real reason, I'm not hating on what's happened, transpired this season. I just feel like there was a Walking Dead business as usual approach to this season. And then it was whoa, we're wrapping this thing up. We've got a sheesh. Where is the fast forward button? They borrowed Adam Sandler's click remote and just started pressing fast forward. So
Yeah. They went Game of
Scott
Thrones
Gimple
fast
would
forward.
take 5 episodes for them to walk 2 miles. Now they're getting there within the episode in 10 minutes. What's up, everybody? It's like, this is so jarring from the normal pacing of The Walking Dead. And Jayce, you watched this episode, right?
I did not, because I wanted to watch the last two back to back, and it's like I finished last week's, and I was like, there's a whole lot to do unless you have a 4-hour window.
It's going to be a special 90-minute episode.
That's not enough. Just
Not enough.
like, it's just last week it was like, the trial of Eugene, and I'm like, oh wow, okay, we're really there. It's like there is I guess the other thing is like the big bad of this is Pamela. That's how y'all are wrapping up the series of Walking Dead. There's not like the Negan whisper. What was Governor Pamela? It's almost like her real crime. She had a bratty kid and was fixing what was that? Fixing a fake lottery. It's like, that's, y'all really had to go that hard? Like, Hornsby was a guy it's like, it almost like if you had said Hornsby somehow kills Pamela, takes over the Commonwealth at the end of last season or in second break, then it's like, oh, okay, I understand, y'all. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. The locusts got to do what they got to do. But now it's really just y'all just being locusts, locusts just being locusts, and it was just like, I'm just not feeling it. It's like y'all got 9,000 subplots. Like, there's no like, hey, we're doing this spinoff back with the old Alexandria crew. We're not. Once Aaron's gone. Kingdom guys, once they're gone, they're gone. It's like that's it. Like,
I've decided what they have to do is 2 things. They have to do like any classic Resident Evil video game would do and have Pamela have a special vial and insert the tyrant virus into her. And she becomes this hulking machine with a big Sith for an arm, 2 heads with like the governor, the crew from Terminus. So we really get the fact that she's the big bad. And then she's just devouring people that we don't care about. Like, oh no, not this guy from Alexandria, not this guy from Oceanside.
Okay, let me give you another scenario. We find out that it actually was Pamela's father who released the giant worldwide virus that has created these zombies.
That would have been great. Then that was a reveal that we could have had like right before this second. That would have been the perfect finale or cliffhanger for the second break.
Yeah, like,
Where it's like,
oh,
oh,
okay,
shoot.
I understand. Why? Yeah, y'all got to do what you got to do. Even if she's just talking to her son, like, when my father decided it was time to cleanse the world,
Yeah,
he
something.
made these great decisions, and I need you to live up to that standard. Like, that would have been okay. Yeah, these guys got to do that. But now it's just Locust being Locust.
And see, I'm going to spoil things because I'm upset with you. So, Jovon, in this episode, I know you commended the Commonwealth for being the one group that realized outside of the kingdom. You know what would be helpful when fighting flesh munching monsters? Armor. Okay. And you would think everyone would be walking around in The Walking Dead like Iron Man, like, my armor's so heavy, but these walkers ain't getting me. No. But these guys have armor made of Swiss cheese on top of styrofoam. And anytime the walkers want it, they just get it. It's not like we got you. They've got Batman gauntlets where they should be slicing necks of walkers. Instead, they're like, oh no. I'm like, you guys have helmets and armor, and it's not hockey pads. So I'm really disappointed with them.
Jeff, you remember when I gave a damn about this show?
No, but see, you were doing this. I'm over The Walking Dead thing. I'm trying to tell you, The Walking Dead has not been bad. Like, there hadn't been an episode this final stretch that I've given less than an 8 because they've been good episodes. It's simply time's running out, guys. Does anybody else know it but me?
Well, and that was the thing. Like and like I said, I had gotten semi-invested right when Ezekiel and Princess and the other two that I don't care about, when they arrived at
Yumiko and Eugene. Okay.
Yeah. When they arrived at what is this called?
Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they're bringing me back in. And then I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, how I fell off again. And I kept saying to myself, I'm going to come back. And I never did. And
you should
now,
come back. It's been worth watching. Like, the Commonwealth had a good guy, a good bad leader. He was great, but he was like the mid-level boss, and they had to be like, we gotta take care of him here. So bye, guy. So but I would not recommend you pick up Titan season 3. I would recommend you watch this season of Walking Dead. Okay. And I think what they really are gonna do in the end, like in the last 10 minutes, unless Rick and Michonne show up and be like, listen, we're here to save the day, is they're going to finish off the walkers and spend the next 10 minutes going spin-off draft. So Maggie and Negan and Daryl are going to have flashcards that they've randomly picked out from a hat. And they're just going to go, all right, Ezekiel, you're on our show. And I will be perfectly fine with that. That's how I want the show to end, because I know they're going to be spinoffs, and I'm invested in some of these characters that we don't know their fates. So that's how I want to.
Fair enough. Yeah. And look, as long as they leave out on that note, like, I was expecting them, if they were really going to close the show, I was expecting like full like mortuary. We're killing everybody except for the 2, 3, 4 folks that we know are going to have life beyond this series. I was expecting that.
That would be the worst ending, because it'd be like, everyone, wait, Daryl and Carol and Maggie and Negan, don't go in there. Why? Oh, that would be awful.
And that's what I was expecting. I was really expecting
come back here next week and trash the show wholeheartedly. Nobody gets spit off armor. And all right, so moving on. Chief, I know one thing that you value, you appreciate just as much as me, is that Disney Plus, because it keeps delivering that constant, solid content. I must say, Andor has been, if I put aside my nostalgia, my appreciation for Mandalorian season 2, Andor has been epic. It has been everything I thought this show could be, more so, and has constantly surprised me with the directions they've gone in. They've had these table setting, let's go a slow pace episodes, but then they pay it off in like 2 or 3 episodes. It's like, oh my gosh, this was the best payoff you could have done. They're not chasing after one thing through 12 episodes. It has been, all right, we do this, that gets wrapped up. And all right, what's next? We're going to go here. That gets wrapped up. Then we go to something else. This is a crazy scenario. It doesn't feel like, I mean, it's all connected, but it's not like, oh man, we're still just trying to do the same quest. We're not trying to put the ring into Mount Doom. It's all these different things. And we're actually seeing how this character becomes the dude that we were like, this guy is great in Rogue One. And at this point, there are 2 more episodes. The penultimate one dropped today. This last episode from last week was awesome. It might feature, I'm gonna scratch might. It features the 2 best performances we've seen in any Star Wars thing. And it left me feeling like if this show, like midway through, I was like, you know what? Andy Serkis has been a great actor. And Andy Serkis deserves a supporting Emmy nomination. This guy has killed it and he's done his thing. And then as it got to then, I was like, oh my gosh, Stellan Skarsgård is delivering this monologue. And I'm like, I don't want to take it back, but this might be the best thing that we've seen from an actor in Star Wars since Palpatine was like, not from a Jedi. It was great. Like, absolutely awesome. Amazing. Can't wait to see it. Have you started Andor, the journey to Andor, Chief? I need you. Seriously, if you never listen to me again on anything else with Star Wars, and I know you are, I need my lightsabers in Star Wars. It's not lightsabers without it. This is the Rogue One side of Star Wars where it's like, we're going to get to the Jedi. You know all that cool stuff? We're going to get to it. This is the dirty, the grimy, the underbelly before we get there. And it's been amazing. Jayce, can you back me up, please?
Okay. The great thing about Andor is every 3 episodes is great. The first 2 are going to build up slow. And then that payoff, like Jeff said, when that payoff hits, you're going to be like, oh, crap. Like, that last episode of Andor is, I have no problem saying, is the best Disney Plus Star Wars. Like, straight up, that.
Hold on.
Nah, I'm sorry. No, I don't. I mean, your Luke Skywalker's cool. I need.
No,
hey,
I'm not gonna let you do that.
No,
I'm not gonna let you do that.
No, because seriously, like Luke Skywalker came in there. The thing is, Luke Skywalker came in and basically made you forget that whole sequel trilogy happened. That was brilliant. That was a godsend. I can't argue.
How then was that not the best part of Star Wars?
Plus, you had, I mean, the performances in that one and in that last episode of Andor, you were like, I mean, it was like, again, I said last week I was gonna go back and watch that. I did, because those 2 performances were awesome. And it was like, and for everybody, Star Wars all has a bunch of cringy dialogue.
Nah,
I bring this to you and say, I rebuke your statement right here. Great freaking dialogue. And if you watch him or whatever, one of those TV performances, and they don't have those 2 speeches, get out of here. Just there's another thing we were talking about that deserves a Oscar or some kind of award, but those for TV, those need to be there.
And Genevieve O'Reilly, who plays Mon Mothma, is quietly really good too. The show has some elements of Game of Thrones without trying to be Game of Thrones. And we're seeing that with the Coruscant scenes, with Mon Mothma navigating these shady politicians who are all like, the Empire rocks because I'm rich. But it's amazing. Now, Jovon, Chief, have we managed to bring you in yet?
You're going to see more of that in the next episode.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm all about it.
I mean, honestly, I wanted to watch it because of the time of Rogue One. I thought Rogue One was one of the finest Star Wars movies. And look, I'm with you, Chief. If there's no lightsabers, it kind of adds to the lore of Star Wars it came for. But I'm gonna tell you that I know I go on and on about it, man. But that payoff at the end of Rogue One, you had such a great movie, And then at the end, that chef's kiss, man, Vader and that lightsaber. Come on, man. That was one of the biggest movie moments of the last 20 years, in my opinion. That like being in the theater for that and hearing that it was it was one of two reactions that Jeff, do it again.
It was like, oh no, this is bad. Y'all need to get out of here ASAP. And I think there was that little kid thing of, oh no, this is the throat breaking Darth Vader. This is not, I'm just chilling next to Palpatine. He's mad. He's like, oh, I don't care how many of you all I have to get through. I'm not gonna waste time and just throw you up against the wall, slice you with my lightsaber just because I could blow you away, but I'm gonna kill you too. And that was the thing. It was like every bit of dread and fear when that lightsaber pierced through the red, it lived up to it and then some.
Absolutely.
And I feel like Andor has really done that because it's setting the stage where it's like, I want to watch Rogue One again. I want to watch Rogue One again. And I think Cassian, I already thought he was a cool character from Rogue One because he wasn't like the characters from the sequel trilogy. He felt like a throwback, kind of like a dirtier, more complicated, more layered version of Han Solo, who was just so embedded into the rebellion that he was like, I don't know what's good or bad. What I do know is I'm trying to take the Empire down.
Well, Jeff, right there, you hit it. Like watching Rogue One, and I can tell from this show, like I started on the first episode and it's like, look, so much going on, and I had to stop and come back and come back. I'm finally gonna have time this week going into the holidays to sit here and watch a bunch of TV and veg out.
Yeah, just binge, man.
Oh, absolutely. And watching that show, it hit me, man. Like you just said, these characters feel like real people in like any other Star Wars movie. They feel like you these are people of your world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going through issues that we see happening, you know, in a metaversal template of our world. You know, these people
not
are
the metaverse though.
Yeah,
right.
in a Star Wars universe of what we're going through in our own world. That's why they feel so real, because
it is real.
People are going through this now. You know, it's a rebellion against the powers that be, and there's a real human element to them, man. They feel real. They feel real. So it got me, and I didn't even need to see episode 1 because I knew
I
this is where it's
need to
coming
reinforce very strongly. Season 1 or episodes 1 and 2 and 4 are like, what's happening, but just stick with it because
hey, look,
it's worth it.
We're from a generation where we don't need to have anything blow up within the first 5 minutes to hold our attention. Good dialogue and scene setting, story building, it takes time. Sometimes it takes time, and the payoff is worth it. Just be patient, you know, watch a story.
Yeah.
Watch something develop.
I do know love takes time. So that's what Mariah told me.
We should tell it to Nick Cannon too.
Chief, you don't sound like you're biting on this. I have some news on the DC front. First off, I'm gonna start with the bad because I know you're gonna be excited about this good. So it's reporting that Black Adam has earned $350 million total, and even if it makes $400 million, it will not take the movie out of the red, and that's a problem because it looks like that it's not going to get greenlit for a sequel because it's not going to make enough money. And we could argue putting anything within the sights of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, probably not the best move. But yeah, it looks like it's not going to have enough steam to keep rolling. And yeah, too much money for this movie. $200 million to make it, then the marketing, and it's just not quite there.
Wow.
Chief, the silence is deafening.
You know, it's for me, man. I just when is 400 million not good enough no more?
You know what I mean? That budget is expensive.
You know what I mean? Like where did we like? I remember when a movie made 400 million, and you were like, "Wow, that's impressive."
Yeah,
you've been saying it. 400 million, it still sounds impressive. And knowing that 400 million.
Well, here's the real
just,
problem. Shazam earned 365 million domestically, and that's pretty solid. That's good. And but Shazam had half of Black Adam's production budget.
and I don't like why. Like, what did Black Adam offer that was so much more than Shazam? I mean, you know what I mean? More green screens.
The Rock. That Rock salary is
Is
commanding.
that what it is? But the Rock, what would he command? More so money on the back.
Rock is one of the top tier.
Yeah, but how much could the Rock? I mean, he could do what? They usually feed the 20 million now movie, but
I would think he'd be more.
Most of the time, people take the money and get it on the back end of the sales, right? And that's how they usually do. Like,
okay, well, Shazam started off not as action packed as Black Adam. Like, that's the big. It's like action. Black Adam had action almost throughout the whole movie,
just like Jovon said.
I got a question.
Yep.
How is The Rock commanding so much money? Name me one good Rock movie.
Fast and Furious 5, Fast and Furious 6.
The Rock. Dwayne Johnson.
Where he was the standalone star.
San Andreas, the monkey movie he made.
Rampage. I think he has a consistent. I mean, I put him as the star of Jumanji.
Yeah.
I think he does a pretty quality job of getting his audience out. And I just checked it out. His salary for Black Adam was 22.5.
Yeah, I said 20 million. So
yeah, that's not bad.
That's not crazy.
It's not.
He still made 20 million less than John Wall for the year.
Wow. So the salary isn't bad, man. I don't understand why it took so much to make.
Yeah.
You know what?
No, they stayed in one goddamn place the whole movie. It wasn't like they were, you know what I mean, going around the world or something. Superman was in Metropolis. It was in Kansas. It was, you know what I mean. They had one set.
He wouldn't like the movie, Chief.
Huh?
He wouldn't like the movie. They were saving their not COVID opportunity to go see Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. They didn't want to be laid up at home and miss out on seeing Black Panther from sitting and seeing Black Adam.
Real quick, what did Black Panther do this weekend?
This weekend it was 200. No, it was 180, which was less than Doctor Strange, which I thought was very interesting. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness made 187 million.
I'm thinking Chad Bowles.
This is 365 million domestically, right?
Yes, sir.
So you figure what? The rest of the world, you figure at least another 200 million? At least on the low end?
So let's see here. Wakanda Forever is set to get with 72 million for its second weekend. And I am pretty sure Black Adam's second weekend didn't do very well.
Black Adam, I think total didn't. I mean, the first opening weekend didn't do 72.
So Black Adam earned 24 million the second weekend.
So given this holiday weekend,
and you're right, it earned 67 million its opening weekend.
I mean, like for a superhero movie, as good as that box office is for The Rock, typically a superhero movie opens 100.
They're expecting much more. Yeah. So for what it's worth with Black Panther, they could see the total earnings for Black Adam by next weekend.
Right.
Because it's a holiday weekend. People are going to be off of work.
And they're going to see
in that retrospect, people are probably going to go see Black Adam too.
Man.
I didn't know they're going to get some more sales. I just, they might push it up to, they might get another, if they're at 65, they might do another 25, 30 million domestically over this time. I mean,
my social media feed was like everyone had their families in front of the poster doing this. I saw no such buzz, no shock,
Well,
no electricity for
Black
Black
Adam doesn't
Adam.
have a fan base. I mean,
That's the problem.
let me say
the
this. Let me say this.
DC characters.
If The Rock had died and Black Adam was the movie after The Rock died, then he probably would have done the same. 400 million. I don't understand. 400 million used to be good. I don't understand. And if they went over, it's on them. If they spent over 200 million developing the damn movie.
All right, Chief, here you go. So the movie you did not care about, Joker, it made 93.5 million its opening weekend.
When did Joker come out? That's the one with Oh Boy?
That came out October 4th, 2019. But its budget was 55 million.
What was the Batman?
Wow.
Do you remember what that opened at?
Give me a second.
That was low, wasn't it?
It scored 128 million.
Yep. Okay. That is Black Adam.
Now let me see the budget
like Chief said, not having a fan base.
I'm trying to see if I can find that budget for Batman.
I think Black Adam will get better. I think Black Adam will get better when they put better superheroes in there.
So Batman cost 185 million to make.
So damn near as much as Black
Adam.
Just
15 million short of Black Adam.
Well, I'm sorry. It had an estimated 200 million.
Okay.
But the problem is, if you sink money into a Batman movie, people are gonna go see it.
Yeah.
How much did that make? How much did that make overall?
Over $1 billion. But the problem is, why would they greenlit Black Adam at the same amount as a Batman movie? That's not smart.
Well, they messed up on the overpaying for the cost of the movie.
Yeah.
I said this about that. Had they introduced Black Adam as a Justice League anti-hero or a Superman anti-hero / villain, a rival to him, built the intrigue for the character and like Easter egg, it's The Rock, then maybe you could have maybe it would have done better as a standalone. Oh. But just to throw it out there, you don't know. Most people don't know who Black Adam is. It's just The Rock and a black cape.
They don't. And DC is like, let's do these movies of characters nobody knows to care about.
Okay. I think the big problem is like, I know you mentioned this kind of in your review on loudmoviefile.com. This Black Adam was almost like a throwback to phase 1 of Marvel. And phase 1, in not kind of taking in consideration the budget, but this Black Adam made comparative to what the first Avenger and Thor, whatever, I think the first Thor movie, like it makes like, hey, we're introducing new superhero characters to the masses. And I'm almost sure it's literally like in that $70-80 million range is what I think Thor made. So it's like, and that if you were almost like trying to pitch it to the networks, I mean, like to the studio exec should be like, hey, we are on line with what a building franchise should get. I mean, it's like, hey, yeah, we went a little over budget, but you wrote off like 2 or 3 crap movies anyway, so you can afford to write that off.
All right, so here you go. Here you go. First Thor, the most expensive, I would assume, of the original MCU films, had a budget of 150 million, and it grossed just domestically 181 million. Worldwide, it was 449.3 million. Not great, not bad, but a good start. So now I'm going to see what First Avenger did. And that budget was 140. It made 176.6 million, and it had a total worldwide gross of 371 million. But the problem is, of course, that was back in 2011. These are cheaper, and Marvel wasn't stupid, and they were like, you know what? These are making money. Let's keep them rolling.
But again, but like you said, that number right there is like, it's even if they're like 10 to 15 million different, it's like, hey, we had to pick up the pieces from the crap you guys left from a decade ago. And we brought Superman back. We have now created a new Justice Society. I mean, a Justice Society you can do something with. You can put them in your next Justice League movie if you want to. We've got a bad guy / anti-hero we can actually build. You guys need to build on, because you didn't do anything with Darkseid, because you pulled an Amber Heard on that one. So it's now on you. So yeah, it's now on you to do something, like to build this franchise and not care about the actual dollar.
Speaking of building, now I mentioned Thor, I mentioned Captain America: First Avenger. Iron Man, of course, made I think $1 billion. No, I don't want to talk out of turn, so let me just do that real fast. All right, the first Iron Man, big gangbusters, $140 million budget. It made 586 million. So that's a super hit. We're good. We don't have to worry. But Avengers is what really, really shook everything up. Like, oh, okay. So Avengers had a $220 million budget, and it made $1.5 billion at the box office. And that was when Marvel said all of our investment in these 5-6 movies to get here was worth it.
They had a plan.
Just keeps trying to jump ahead to every movie should make $1 billion. And that's
Marvel had a plan that DC does not. Well, they still don't have a plan.
So I'm wondering, like, is James Gunn going to say,
hey, I'm so glad you asked. So now let's go into this. Chief, here's your good news. All right. So Warner Brother Discovery CEO David Zaslav has been working on a 10-year plan for the DCU. And to do that, he's got the DC studio co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran working on this Bible of all of the characters. And he did an interview with THR and said, I think over the next few years, you're going to see a lot of growth and opportunity around DC. There's not going to be 4 Batmans. And so part of our strategy is to drive the hell out of DC, which Peter and James are going to do. I think they've thrilled the fans. I think they're going to thrill you over a period of time. So let's take that at face value, what he says. We're not going to have Robert Pattinson, Ben Affleck, Michael Keaton. We're just going to have one. They're just going to go like this, pick one, and that's going to be your only Batman. Ron is cracking up.
Because he's actually seeing in the actual room them throwing the dartboard like Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do 10 years, you should go Robert
Joker
Pattinson.
is Joaquin Phoenix.
Gosh,
we don't care.
No.
For me, it's the fact that you have to say this.
That's bad.
You have to press release this. I said this about that. Cast the human Ken doll. What's his name? Zac Efron as Batman.
Batman.
Make him the new Batman. Why not?
No, Zac Efron is about 5'1".
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to put him in your movie, you can make him Nightwing.
I think Robert Pattinson is not that tall either, but
yeah, I was gonna say Pattinson's not 6 foot.
I think he is tall though. I think he is
tall.
6 foot.
Yeah. 5'10" at the very least, right?
I don't think so.
I was gonna say, I thought we looked at this, but like
tall,
we did, and y'all were shocked then.
How tall is what's his name? Ken doll.
He is 6'1". Robert Pattinson is 6'1".
How tall is Ken doll?
He's short.
Remember, he was in a movie with Rock and he was tiny.
He's 5'8". So as a 5'7" guy, he's short.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they got to do something. But so it costs $200 million to make Black Adam. Technically, right now, it's 100. They're 165 in the green, aren't they?
No, because they have to count the advertising, which they don't really release. They don't say, hey, we spent $200 million putting this stuff for a Happy Meal for McDonald's, and on a box of this toilet paper that you're going to get, those Dole pineapples that you're going to get for your kids. That's not factored into it. So it's just like a vague number. But if they go, it's not gonna make a profit, then you can assume that they spent a boatload of money that way. And I think some of the problem with Black Adam was it was confusing marketing. Is this Black Adam's movie or is it Justice Society's movie? And who knows?
They never. I mean, they were just kind of. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you because it's like you knew that was the Rock's movie. Like for comic book folks, they might be like, "Oh, so and so's in it." For the masses, it's like, "Yeah, this is Rock's new movie." All right, The Rock brought his audience out. Like, oh, it's a Rock movie. If he's gonna make the San Andreas Rampage, I'm gonna go see it. And
but you know what? Rock didn't do his little smile. He didn't go around shirtless for the ladies to lose their minds and dudes.
Hey, Jason Momoa did it on the Tonight Show, and I'm seeing it on my social media. So
yeah,
and that title probably confused the hell out of people. It's Black Adam. Who's Black? I don't want to see a movie about a black guy named Adam. I'm confused. What is this? Probably confusing to people. Probably.
Yeah, But Chief, man, you're gonna have one Batman. You were saying, I'm tired of all these Batman, these Jokers running around. Henry Cavill's Superman. That's a good thing.
It was stupid.
Got him locked up. Just in case you were curious, he's 6'1". I looked it up just for you.
Who's that?
Henry Cavill.
Oh. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. I still think that Black Adam was still a good thing for the DC franchise. And even if it doesn't make the money, like I said, they introduced some characters, this, that, and the third. He should be featured in a couple of
absolutely. I mean, we never got an Incredible Hulk sequel, so
right. So some guest appearances during the DC joints. It'll work out, man. Now that they have direction and figuring out the hell they're finally going to do with this franchise, it should work out. I'm so sick of what it was.
I love your optimism. Okay. I'm excited too, though, because I think James Gunn and Peter Safran know what they're doing.
Why do we never get a Ruffalo standalone Hulk movie?
I think his deal was signed, but the rights with Universal were kind of complicated, so he couldn't have a standalone. Oh, yeah. They could throw him in as many movies they wanted, but they couldn't have a standalone Hulk movie because that was part of that original. Yeah. Everybody gets a Marvel character for their studio, and they were able to put them under the umbrella because sure, whatever. But it was never this, hey, shaking hands, everybody's working as a partnership. Paramount had Cap, Thor, and Iron Man, and it was like, what about Hulk? What about Hulk? All right, well, here's our workaround. We'll put him in the movie because that'll work, but he can't have his own, at least for now. I don't know.
And Ragnarok was kind of like his own.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely
he had a prominent role in that. But what's up with the X-Men?
Isn't that happening?
So here's the deal with the X-Men. We don't know.
Oh
wow. The real quick and dirty thing is we're building to Secret Wars, and unlike the Infinity War, we have no idea where they're going to go to get to Secret Wars. I guess all bets are Ant-Man. Quantum Mania is going to be the first. That's weird.
I was like, really?
It's like, did my camera mess up? All right, Zaymot. So yeah, it's going to be one of those deals where I think that's going to be the very first one we're going to start to see, like the Thanos turn around in the chair moment where it's like, I'm going to fight all these Avengers. And there's all kinds of rumors, probably unsubstantiated, that everyone who is anyone is going to be in Secret Wars. So we could see the original X-Men show up in there. We could see Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr. back in Secret Wars. No telling what's going to happen. It could shake up the entire fabric of the universe. And I think they're deliberately waiting until that unfolds before they reveal what's going on with the X-Men. There is some very strong rumors that they're going to be race swapped. I'm clutching my pearls if you can notice. Charles Xavier Magneto and Giancarlo Esposito is rumored to be either Professor X or Magneto. You can do either one. You're shaking your head, Chief. You don't want it.
Let the outrage begin.
That's why they're holding off.
I don't think you need to put a black person. You know what I mean? Like every time I turn around, they're like, "Hey, let's throw black in here." I'm like, "Do you need to?" Hey,
all right, Herschel, calm it down.
You know what I mean? Hey, what we gonna do for this new movie? Throw a black guy in there. Yeah, throw him in there. Make black. Yeah, Black Professor X. It's good. Like, hi, we don't need a black Professor X. I'm okay. You know what I mean? He could be white. You know what I mean? He could be white. Magneto could still be white.
Speaking on behalf of the white delegation,
okay. I mean, like, here's it again. I think we all got very, and this may not just be straight like comic book books. Like the story of Eric Leshner. It was like, he kind of had seen where this goes.
I mean, the original concept of the X-Men was heavily influenced by Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. It was not a coincidence that it was coming out around that same time. Mm-hmm. So those characters are inspired by them. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby adapted it for the comic book world, but it's not like, oh, I wonder who they came up with this for the idea of these guys.
Well, yeah, okay. So Grant, I mean, I'm as much as it's like, I'm not even gonna go with patricially, but in my head, I'm like, that's literally what I'm going. It's like, do you want to have easy backlash, or just like, we can make a lot of other? I mean, there's a whole lot of other characters.
How easy is it to convey people being afraid of people
with powers
being black? I mean, that would be the nightmare of Fox News. Are these black kids with laser eyes? Can they read your mind?
What would happen if they're in your school? Would you actually want them in your school? Would you want them as your neighbor?
They don't even have to have blue skin. They're controlling the weather. What's next? Your mind? One actually does. Come on. I mean,
I can actually read your mind.
That joint seems so
telling
easy.
You what to think.
It just touches on society so easily. I'm with you, Chief. They don't have to make them black, but it'd be so like they don't have to trap themselves with the, oh yeah, Magneto is a Holocaust survivor in 2022.
The black Jewish dude in the camp, the Holocaust camp, he's not gonna go in first.
Well, I mean, like, he'd be super old at this point.
No.
So, I mean, you could just update it to Magneto's parents were beat up by white supremacists and covers the same deal.
Why? Why do we have to change it? Just let it. That's what
I'll put it out.
Chief, like, think of if like you basically switch the whole X-Men and actually make them all black. It would convey like kind of how the cartoon was, where they were really feared. It was not like, hey, even if they're all nice and pretty and athletic, these are like, wait, they're actually kind of, they are evolution, and it's like that would scare the hell out of them. Very large swath of the population. It's like, wait, then you add in somebody like
and then we get a cameo from Public Enemy. We put the
y'all making a movie no one's gonna go see.
Right. X-Men makes $100 this week in the movie.
No one's gonna go see that movie.
Look.
Oh my God.
6 blacks to go see it, and the rest will bootleg it.
Folks don't even need to change their hand sign.
Yeah,
it's simple. We're just putting up the X again. Come on, man.
No, man, I don't need
that movie will make $27.
You're trying to get Marvel Studios burned down.
Yeah, man. Listen, man.
I'm just saying. I am playing the Angel's Advocate in this situation. I can see how it works.
That movie makes $27.
Let them be white, man. Throw some black characters in there, man.
All right, listen. Tell you what, Bishop can be white.
Wolverine has to be black. And Wolverine
because
has to
Bishop had a ponytail basically anyway. He can be white.
Okay. Wolverine has to be black.
Ooh. Oh gosh, can I just sit and watch just look at the comment section after that?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
No, only if he's played by Kevin Hart, because he's short enough to be him.
Oh.
Jonathan Majors. He's got to be Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors is Kang, man.
He's Kang.
Play all these roles. You know, we run out of black people to play the X-Men, so maybe we can't do this.
Yeah.
We run out of black actors. All right.
But we give Nate Parker back.
Because I've been having fun with this. But now let's go to some real clowns. It's time, fellas, for your nominees for Dummies of the Week. Dear brother, who do you have? And tell me why it's Elon Musk.
I'm sorry. I'm going to make you, well, for Mr. Musk, hey, I know it's 3 a.m. in the morning, but hey, you got till 9 a.m. to fill this contract out and say you're willing to work 15, 18-hour days and no more money. And I fired half your buddies, or you get 3 months severance. I'll expect to see you to work tomorrow. Good luck.
He's working on a major lawsuit, but yeah.
Oh, man, California has some great labor laws, and they're the lawyers are like, please, my door is open. Are you fired? Do you work at Twitter? Come holler at me. I got you. But my other dummy of the week is actually CNN. And it's not actually for a news-related story. It's actually for something fun they do every year. Because I don't know if you guys watch it, but their coverage on New Year's Eve of Anderson Cooper and, what's my man's name?
Yeah.
Andy Cohen.
Andy, yeah.
They're going to try and have them, and Don Lemon, because he's also, they're going to try and have them not be as drunk next year. Yeah. If you want to see boring CNN, I mean, like CNN, no one watches you on New Year's Eve except to watch these guys have a ball.
No one used to, but we watch now because of Andy and Anderson.
I mean, like, if you can watch Andy and Anderson take shots and shots and try and figure out how they're going to be the next morning, I just don't understand. It's like, that's just cancel. I mean, that you want to talk about canceling everyone watching that show?
Or Don Lemon getting a healthy dose of truth serum and then speaking his damn mind.
Man, oh gosh. Don Lemon, like when it was last year when he was in New Orleans, man, that was hilarious. Like, no, come on. You can't do that to a CNN. Y'all do it, y'all are complete dummies of the week for me.
All right. My nominee is the Washington Commanders, not for the way you think. I feel like any week that's applicable, but it is because this new trend now, because Kirk Cousins started it, which is so absurd. The quarterback on the jet home, rocking everybody's chains, and Kurt brought his swagger. He was like, "You like that?" I mean, drinking beers. So Washington tried to get in on this fun, and they showed my boy Taylor Heineke sitting there very politely in his coach chair seat, and he's got a makeshift cooler with beer and ice sitting in a little trash bag next to him. It was so sad, but I mean, they were blinging him out, and he's all politely sitting there. They're putting stuff on him, and Chase Young is like, "I haven't played all season, but this is my quarterback, y'all." Oh man, it was hilarious.
Carson Wentz on the plane.
Out the trash can, man.
The trash. I mean, it was like he was your uncle at the cookout. Just put these beers in the can, man. Little trash can, little ice. He's sitting up there like, I beat undefeated teams all day. But my second part of this was for a moment where Troy and Buck were like, "Well, I don't know. There's going to be some controversy." I'm like, "There's no controversy. Just like there's no spoon. There's only one quarterback for Washington, and his name is not Carson Wentz."
Oh, he's horrible.
Hey, Chief, what you got, man?
I really don't have a dummy of the week, man. We'll have to go. Well, I'll just move on, man. Y'all take it from here.
Jay King, what you got?
I got Madonna. And
well, express yourself then.
I will. I think it's I think it's only appropriate. That was a good one. That was a good one. Madonna is going through, this ain't midlife. This is like back nine crisis. It's like, this is the back nine, and Madonna's going through it. Have y'all seen her face? What she's done to her face?
Is it
the little Kim joint?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she got the little Kim special, man. Like the whole, she don't even look like the same person.
She got it through Groupon.
Yeah, she did, unfortunately. And
That's
the Groupon was like you could bring 4 people, but she took all 4 of those the other 3 spots.
hey, Jovon, when she tried to twerk in the truck.
Hey, Chief.
Yeah.
Madonna got a BBL, and I'm not even playing. Like, I couldn't even believe what the hell I saw.
All right, well, Jovon, we're going to say a prayer for Madonna, and we're going to wrap this back. I'm sorry.
Look, Papa don't preach. All right,
I'm
let
doing
me just
it on purpose.
Done with you too.
Fellas, we'll be back next week. We can say which movies we are thankful for in 2022. And I'm thankful for you guys and you all watching. As always, thank you. This episode of Loud's Movie Files has been filed.